I don't think screaming at the top of your lungs when you miss a putt should be ignored.
Oh, come on.
At the top of your lungs?
Fucking Ned Flanders?
No, what are you talking about? I also don't think people think you should be allowed to tell guys they're get in the bunker. I don't. I'm a code of conduct guy. I see myself as a future on a discipline committee. Okay? And so that's bad news. I guess it's bad news for my members because I'll if I am ever involved, I'm a code of conduct guy. I'm a code of conduct guy. So I'm just curious. Is this I want to know more about the rule. If they can just tell us the only way you get penalty is if you do something like insane. There's no stacking. You can't do 6 different things in a day. It's just everything is its own thing.
At Mayo Experience.
Welcome to That Mayo Experience, presented by Underdog, the Travelers Championship picks, preview, bets, one and done, along with a U.S. Open recap. Smash a like, give me your winner in the comment, and sub to Mayo Media Network. And Jeff, did you know? Well, you wouldn't know because you don't have an iPhone. But if you did have an iPhone and you listen to this on Apple Podcasts, you can now watch the video on Apple Podcasts or just continue to listen along to the audio only. Well, I do produce video, Jeff, for this show. I listen to podcast audio only. I don't watch videos.
I don't have an iPhone. Someone's got to be different. I appreciate that we're all on a standard charging port now. And yeah, I'm the outsider in like the group chat who makes things probably more annoying in some of that stuff. I had heard from multiple people even before Tim discovered about this video though in Apple Podcasts. So awesome.
Yeah, it's just another way that you can enjoy the show. I know there's a lot of people who've been longtime audio listeners that, for whatever reason, don't know how to use YouTube and want to see the show. Now they can do it. Don't have to, but it's there if you want it. Anyway, Wyndham Clark is a 2-time U.S. Open champion. It seems weird to say, but like he's on like the same level as Bryson now, isn't he?
I mean, if you're rating it by that, of course.
And he has a few other PGA wins along the way. Like, do you care about any of Bryson's live wins?
No, I mean, for Bryson, I always put it, Pat, like players get to a point where they can't do really anything to change their legacy other than win more majors. Like, even if Bryson came back in some new golf world in 12 months, 18 months and won in Phoenix, like your opinion of Bryson, like big picture changes?
No, probably not. But it feels like Wyndham Clark could do that in a weird way. Like imagine there was a world where everyone liked Wyndham Clark. I feel like his stature would go up.
Yeah, of course. And I mean, let's get right into it. Full credit to Wyndham. In a day of golf, I think we will remember forever because it was kind of unlike anything we had ever seen. And like Wyndham, hate Wyndham, you can't not admire the resiliency and his ability to hold on finish against everything that was kind of working against him yesterday from literally what felt like maybe the first tee. I mean, the first time, yeah, like when his putt came up short on one and the crowd reacted because it was like, whoa. Then he misses a green on an upcoming hole. You're like, whoa, this is unlike something I've ever heard. We've seen late in tournaments, things sort of develop. That is unlike anything I have ever seen. I will remember the day forever. And Wyndham Clark's resiliency. On top of that, now, let's actually rewind a little. Because a year ago, I probably guaranteed said that he should be suspended by the USGA. I absolutely said that. I probably would have held to that 6 months ago, 4 months ago, a week ago. I literally would have held that. Now, to that, you could think a player should not be participating in a football game because he should be suspended, a basketball game, a baseball game. Once they're in and they do what they do, like nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. I could think a player should be suspended. He can get a triple-double, hit the game-winning shot. Like, who cares what I think should have happened? The record shows what he did, and it was marvelous. The par saves, annoying as wanted to pull my head out. There's a 15-footer on set, like it just never ended. But you can't not fully applaud in what felt like a tournament, like be just kind of totally forgotten in some ways. I don't think I'll ever forget it because it was a one of a kind experience to anything I've ever seen. And on top of it, some hate for the USGA and maybe the course early. I thought, by Sunday they had it perfect. Now, do you wish they had it perfect all days? That's the fine line you got to walk. That's the fine line you got to walk with a property like this that's as fragile as this. But yesterday was incredible. There was no wind, and they had it playing incredible. So, yeah, full marks. I like the place. There's some hate for it. I like it. I like it a lot. Wyndham. I'm wearing my shinny high crown and my vintage Air Jordan 3 Grapes t-shirt, which I tell you, this would go big money in a market. And these, vintage being the thing these days. And in honor of Wyndham. I mean, I'm not a fan. He made me I was kind of hoping the golf gods would do their thing yesterday. I'll like own that. The best thing Wyndham did in winding. He's been winding a lot lately. In winning was Pat. I thought he even apologized again, but he said he did some things last year that he really, really regrets and he's terribly sorry for. And like, you look at that statement from a year ago, it was disgusting. It was like, these things happened. It wasn't like an actual apology, and that piled on the hate. I think he actually like really apologized yesterday after winning. I was really impressed. I came away really impressed. In the same way, I think a lot of people don't give a shit, don't care for Jaco Neiman, maybe think he's a punk. Came away impressed by the time 4 rounds were completed with the kid. On a different level, I was one of those who don't really give much shit about Wyndham. Kind of wanted to see him lose. I came away thoroughly impressed on and off the course.
I, by the end of it, was really rooting for him to hold on and win because it's not that it was unfair that everyone was against him out there, but from stepping on T1, everyone singing happy birthday to Scotty Scheffler. There was a moment like I think I would have rather seen Scheffler win, stage this epic comeback. But once it wasn't going to be him and it was only Sam Burns who was making a run, I was like, I'd rather just Wyndham Clark win at this point. I kind of feel bad for the guy. He wins, and then what do you have his bro crew ready for him on the 72nd hole? That I was not expecting. What I thought he should have done, rather than the apology, just go the other way into it. I feel like it makes him a big star if he just starts acting like an asshole all the time and just embracing all the hate, because clearly it was fueling him. It made him make every 15-foot putt that he needed to make all week long. Like, it was outrageous the amount of times that it felt like he was, especially Saturday, that stretch between holes 8 and 13, where it felt like he could have played it at 6 over, and I think he played it at 1 under. It was like, all right, well, that's just going to be it. Then he hits the shot of the tournament on 16 on Saturday, and that kind of locks it up for him. And then we had 2
by the camera bay on 17 too, right? Like, just things in that run. Sorry.
Yeah, but he had the 2 competing forces working for him. He was Cust picked to not win, and then Cust said it was over. There's no way he could lose. But everyone else was forgetting that Sam Burns was one of Cust's picks. So the moment it got close, it was like putting 2 equally charged magnets next to one another that they physically couldn't touch, and they had to go back the other way. Hence why Wyndham Clark won.
Yeah, and like Tim did his best to play all sides of it as best he could. To your point, it actually got to a point yesterday where Wyndham, for as much as you may have, or like if you're one of those people who disliked him, he was even becoming a sympathetic figure with what was happening on property. Like, my golf math in my brain was saying, this doesn't like feel right. Like, I started to feel bad for him early in the round. Yeah, so I guess New York can turn someone into a sympathetic character in some ways. I feel like Tron TC tweeted that because it was funny. It's like he hated the New York fans for their participation at Bethpage, and then this was like only these whatever adjective New York fans can make Wyndham Clark a sympathetic figure. But I think in reality, that's exactly what happened. But here's the key to your point, Pat. When it's not wrestling, and you don't go to bed, well, some of them, the gimmick is always real. At least when we were kids, they lived it, even in an airport. Wyndham does not want to be disliked. He desperately wanted to be liked. In a way, Justine and Patrick probably had pregame convos saying, we will lean into this. We like this. This is fun. This is something like we are getting our rocks off on. Wyndham desperately wanted to be liked, sometimes couldn't figure out why they won't like me. Like I'm not saying that as an insult. Like he did not want to be hated. He did not want to lean into it because he didn't want that. And you have to want it to be able to lean into it.
I agree. And I think that's part of the problem that people are having with him too, is that he just won't embrace who he is, or he really does think he's someone else. Although I saw a lot of people getting really upset with his chat with his caddy and then finish everything with like, good process. He sounds like a guy who's been through therapy. So I guess the mandated Oakmont stuff kind of paid off for him.
Listen, it is kind of like, if people can't see the connection of it, we almost have a rule that in some ways could be named after him. And then he goes out and wins the next one. There's like some great irony, humor, all of it in that. Yeah, just I loved the week. I loved it. I'm such a big fan of Larry, Tom, and Marty's, and he always has such funny analogies. And there's a group of people who are like very anti this place. And to them, his analogy, which I laughed at, was like, Shinnecock is like the crazy high maintenance like girl that you dated who's insane and crazy, and you kind of want nothing to do with her, and she's nuts and she's so fickle, and it's hard to know if she's gonna, like, the smallest things can, turn her from like a great time to like ruining the party. I don't know, once a decade, like, isn't that fun for us? We're not involved. We're not setting it up. Like, just as an outsider, like, yeah, the place is nuts and they can lose it quickly and they have to try to go to great lengths. And sometimes it's going to work for, and sometimes it's going to work against. I think it's just, I don't know. I like it. I like it a lot. I look forward to the next one. I think it delivers in the same way, like totally different courses. I mean, it's not a fair example. Like, Torrey Pines gets so much hate, like 9 out of 10 times it just fucking delivers. So in the end, you wake up from your crazy bender with this girl. You had a good time, had a fun time. I thought she did great. I mean, the logo might be canceled by the next time, but they've lasted this long, so good for them.
I don't understand what people's issues were with it the first 2 days. If it wasn't for Wyndham Clark playing out of his mind, people would have looked at the scores and been like, man, there's no one better than -2 right now. Like, it's one guy who kind of did this. No one, were like, I just can't remember at this point, but were people saying the same thing about Keimer at Pinehurst and Rory at Congo, the years that they started running away with it, where, yeah, it looks like it's playing easy because one guy is going nuts, but everyone else seems to be having a whole lot of problems. Like, if they hadn't set it up the way that they did the first 2 days by watering the greens, allowing for shots to be receptive coming into the putting surfaces, like, what would the scores have been?
I'm not sure, but I also feel like a lot of us who like watch this show, you run this like you have two competing paths. And I assume for most people, like, bets and money are more important, as it probably should be. Like, am I upset Wyndham Clark lost? I mean, won? No. Am I upset? Like, I took another bath in golf? Yeah. Like, that's what I'm annoyed about this morning. Could have been like, if Sam Burns wins, I'm taking the bath too, and I'm a bit annoyed. So, what's the difference? But it's like these competing interests. And as when you're not trying to like find the best lane for a DFS or a bet, and you don't want like, you like to make these placing bets, and the course is so fickle that like one little incident can ruin like a guaranteed T10 all week and just blow them out of the T20. Like, sure, that's probably annoying to have to navigate through for betting. But as a fan, I don't know. I think the place really just delivers.
I'm just glad it was nice that Clark early on got himself a bit closer and a bit closer to everyone else, because it would have been unwatchable if it was him up by 7 all day.
Yeah.
Appreciate the drama he gave us.
40 minutes in, he's watching Belgium and Iran. I'm like, what are you doing? Get over there. Yeah, it was Burn. Credit to Burns because he took it by like the nuts. There were a lot of guys who were like playing fine, and you attack that course, you're going to get killed. But there are a lot of guys who are playing fine and maybe in there some way thought like, if I just play fine or I'm a hold the line, my only chance of winning is Wyndham coming back to me, like fully like Wyndham not even part of this in the final half hour, sort of come back to me. Sam Burns felt like the only guy going off in the last hour who's like, I'm going to try to fucking take this. So you commend him, and he's had some struggles on Sundays and big events, and this one he took, and the putt on 17 was limp. That's what I do. The putt on 18 is just soul crushing. And we've had these 2 putts both times on the shinny on 18 that, I mean, Burns was maybe a little longer, probably double maybe what Tommy's was, but he just gave it an incredible run. Oh yeah. I don't know. I did not have a chance at $1. I was having a ball. But I was just the fascination of the entire property against an American golfer from Go.
That's the weirdest part about this. Like, had it been, I don't know, Sergio 9 years ago, be like, okay, that makes a ton of sense. But he's the only guy I can really think about.
If Scotty isn't there, are they doing that? Or
I don't know, but is Scotty like, that popular?
Okay, this is the weird thing. And someone else described it to me as like people on property just wanted it to get close.
That's fair.
And I can respect that. Like, you've been to early round March Madness. I'm not comparing them, but you sense in those early rounds, every neutral in the stadium, everyone whose team isn't playing or hasn't played yet, you're all just cheering for underdog and close. Right?
Yeah, like when we were there in 2010, it was, man, I hope Hampton can stay within 10 of Duke.
Yeah, you're just everyone in the arena outside the fan of the favorite is cheering for it to like either the lead to shrink or the underdog. And I guess between that and the Scotty aspect, it just created this storm. And you wonder if Matt Fitzpatrick is in second place. Like, does that happen? Do people want it close then? So yeah, but like, I know I said it a few times, the Ryder Cup is its own thing. Have you ever remotely seen anything close to that? Like, applauding the missed shots from like 40 minutes after his tee time, seeing people reporting that people are getting kicked off the property for heckling this player. They made him sympathetic.
Well, they did, but it didn't seem like anyone was still really turning to be on his side because of it.
No, they were cheering against him till the end. And he should have done like the Reed after 16. Oh, God. Yeah, what a putt. I guess he bogeyed 17, so he had some drama. I don't know.
His putt on 18 was awesome.
It was really a great day because there was always just drama. Oh, the putt on 18 was incredible. The drama just didn't go away, even when you thought it was over. He bogeyed 17, so we get a little tickle again. I know, I guess Kim bogeyed 17, so he couldn't really get to 3.
See, that was the story. It just never materialized. That there was a group of, and maybe it's just because Burns feels like a class above some of those guys, but be it Thigala, Tom Kim, Keith Mitchell, Sam Stevens, Poston was too far back and kind of made his run. There was a bunch of like goobers that were sitting there being like, all right, these guys could like almost do what Wyndham Clark did at LACC, like really enhance their profile, become real players on a major stage. Like, Tom Kim's not even in the field this week at the Travelers.
Oh, and that's another Tim's victory lapping because he had Tom Kim as his one and done in Canada.
Yeah.
Tim is like
As we spoke, if people missed the Cut Sweat show, they missed your 15-minute rant about Neiman to start the show, and then you missed, after your internet died, the fact that Cust cleans his shower every time he uses it.
I don't even understand that. Like, he wipes the film away. Like, he goes, like, how? I guess my question, I mean, I have so many questions, and we don't need to bog down now. Like, does he give it a grace period out of the shower? Like, do you have to maybe let like some of the water settle before you? I don't know what I'm trying to say, but is he right in there?
He has a squeegee.
Dude, this is that's insane OCD.
Yeah. Do you think that's more insane than not returning that guy's pitching wedge?
Oh,
I got to go back through that show and find some of this stuff because it's outrageous.
Okay, so let's pretend we are like the pillars of justice here, the scales of justice, but we're not debating justice. We're debating the legitimacy of like Tim's credit through all of this. Because he's how do I put this? Like he had Burns to win.
Yep.
But he had Wyndham as his number one gold seed, cannot win. Right?
Correct.
And does
actually no. In fairness, I believe Lowry was his number one cannot win.
Yeah, I mean, part of me, it's like I saw some people in the messages saying that this will totally negate his Wyndham LACC call.
No.
And I don't think so. I think that's totally unfair. That'd be like you pitched a great day, you hit a game-winning grand slam or something, just because you struck out or you made like a horrific error in another moment. That doesn't take away the glory of that day and that call.
I agree.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'd say, but he thinks his Burn call offsets his Wyndham call. It's hard to keep up. Maybe this dub. You can't even.
Well, he's now trying to claim credit for Wyndham Clark because he called it over at the beginning of the round. And you're like, I knew, see?
I don't know. He was playing both sides of that.
But if people didn't hear it on the Cut Sweat show, on our golf trip, we have a bunch of guys that see each other all the time, but there's one guy who lives in Texas who comes up here and plays. And Gus sees him once a year at the golf tournament. And he accidentally put his pitching wedge into Cust's bag last year. And then about 3 weeks ago, we saw the club in Cust's bag. I was like, oh, did you let him know? He's like, no, I'm going to let him know next time I see him, which would be at the golf tournament 365 days later, which means that the guy probably went out and bought a new pitching wedge and Cust just never told him. It's wild.
It is quite a wild story to think like a guy there's like no guarantee that guy's even going to be like that guy says he's coming next year. But if he doesn't come next year, you also have no other chance to see him again. It is very weird golf etiquette to end up with someone's club and then think you're just going to tell them when you see them a year later at the same guys event. You call the guy or you just go the mutual contact. Let him know I have his club. Does he want it? Then he does the cost benefit analysis of like, do I want Tim to ship it to me? Do I love this wedge? Was I thinking about buying a new wedge? I had told Tim, Pat, that like this was so far down the road. Maybe this makes me the bad person.
Don't even bring it up.
I would have just had to eat the club. Like, this is now my club. It's so embarrassing to share that I withhold having your club for so long that I don't want to be ridiculed. I think I've got to just throw this out or make it mine.
We're all in a group chat together and he never brought it up.
Because he said the guy doesn't talk much, but that doesn't mean the guy isn't in the chat.
Yeah, like Jared never contributes to the chat. Jared's in the chat.
Yeah, this is, you almost wish that this, like, you feel like Judge Cust would even have like a biased ruling on this now.
Yeah, well, Judge Cust is ruling in Cust's favor.
Yeah, I guess when you're the judge.
And when you're the judge, you make the rules.
Yeah, I don't know. What a guy.
The Travelers Championship. Now is the time. This is the place. Every star, every round, every shot that makes your heart race as legends walk the fairways. Keegan Bradley, Scotty Scheffler, Tommy Fleetwood, Justin Rose, Cameron Young, Xander Schauffele, Colin Morikawa, and other PGA Tour greats, all battling to be called champion. See the world's best for all 4 days. No cut! You'll feel the pressure before the shot, the roar when it drops. You'll stand close enough to see it all, the intensity, the focus, the moment when everything comes down to mere inches, and where everything makes you feel part of the moment. It's golf at its best, up close, open to all, and only here. The excitement starts June 24th and runs through June 28th at TPC River Highlands in Cromwell, Connecticut. For tickets and information, visit travelerschampionship.com. Now is the time. This is the place. You know what's annoying? Thinking you got your finances lined up, then some random thing pops up and throws everything off. That's why I've been checking out Cash App. It's not just for sending money anymore. Cash App does more than you think when it comes to having your back and making sure your money stays your money. Cash App just released a new status program for the way people actually spend called Cash App Green. Now, when you spend at least $500 a month with a Cash App card, you earn green status, which unlocks benefits like up to $200 of free overdraft coverage. If you overdraft unexpectedly, there are no hidden fees. You also unlock higher borrowing limits and custom personalized cashback offers every Friday at places you love to shop. Turn everyday spending into status with Cash App Green. Download Cash App today or visit cash.app to learn more about this and other financial benefits. New Cash App customers can earn $10 if they use code CASHAPP10 in their profile at sign up and send $5 to a friend within 14 days. Terms apply. Cash App is a financial services platform, not a bank. Banking services provided by Cash App's bank partners. Prepaid debit cards issued by Sutton Bank. Member FDIC. Cash App Visa debit flex cards issued by Sutton Bank. Member FDIC and the Bancorp Bank NA. Pursuant to a license from Visa USA Inc. See terms and conditions for the Sutton prepaid card, Sutton debit flex card, and Bancorp debit flex card. Cash App Green features savings, direct deposit, roundups, overdraft coverage, and discounts provided by Cash App, a Block Inc. brand. Visit cash.app/legal/podcast for full disclosures. So outside of Wyndham Clark, what else sticks out to you about this tournament? Like, what else will you remember?
I'll remember, like when Sam Burns finally brings something down, I'll remember like this was sort of the Sunday where he first like made sure he was going to be a part of it. And then after that, like, I don't know that it's particularly close for me. It's Yako and his ability to shoot those 2 rounds after what happened on this property.
Are you still triggered about it?
No, I'm not triggered about him getting a penalty. The penalty feels deserved. I am a little triggered, Pat, because I need to know. I am more a fan than a better. I'm more a fan than a better. I need to know more about this rule and its implementation, and they need to talk to us. Okay. I don't want this only enforced when someone like goes so far past the line. Now, I don't want this enforced for jaywalking either. I don't. But I need to know, like, are you just in a day of 30 people doing bad things, we're just going to get the one guy who, like, if Neiman went 100 in a 50, I still think the guys who went 70 in a 50, 75 in a 50 need to be held to account. I also don't think it's fair for everyone to start from the same place.
Hey, why do you not think that's fair? It's a new rule. And like when you bring up someone like Lowry, most of his transgressions have happened either at the PGA Championship or the Open, not the US Open. So what does USGA care?
Well, I feel like all the majors got together and are trying to implement something together because we heard about it at the Masters too, that they've implemented and the players had notices across the locker room and were sent a notice about it, that there is now like a new, much more enforced code of conduct. Remember that stuff with Sergio? They obviously were like, oh, we don't want to be the guinea pigs on this. We're just going to give him a talking to, sort of. So it does seem like, well, nothing happened at the PGA. All 4 majors are aligned on this.
The biggest
I want to know the entry
what
point.
Neiman, hold on. The biggest difference between what Neiman did, from what I can tell, versus what anyone else did, is he got a volunteer involved. And once you do that, you get the penalty.
I don't know. He kicked a flag. I've been at I've seen guys, hum and huff, knock that thing
Yeah, but he's
away.
also losing his mind at the same time, chucking his club, and then
Sure.
getting
No,
into it with a volunteer.
okay, so this is fair. Neiman, let's not dispute it because I'm not. If he like blew past the line, penalty. I want to know something like this, Pat. Does it just have to be one incident? Or like, let's say I have a bunch of mid and minor and then a medium level transgression. Can those stack?
No, I don't.
I'm curious. I'm
think
just
you're taking
curious.
way too much into this.
No, I don't
Like,
think.
You've really put yourself.
I
into a
don't think
pretzel over this.
screaming
The guy
fuck.
acted out of line by a while. They were like, "We got to give you a penalty, man."
I don't think screaming fuck at the top of your lungs when you miss a putt should be ignored.
Oh, come on.
At the top of your lungs?
Ned Flanders?
No, what are you talking about? I also don't think people think you should be allowed to tell guys they're get in the bunker. I don't. I'm a code of conduct guy. I see myself as a future on a discipline committee. Okay? And so that's bad news. I guess it's bad news for my members because I'll if I am ever involved, I'm a code of conduct guy. So I'm just curious. I want to know more about the rule. If they can just tell us the only way you get penalty is if you do something like insane. There's no stacking. You can't do 6 different things in a day. It's just everything is its own thing. I'm curious to know that. I don't think that's a crazy question.
They're not.
Even Lynch wrote.
It leaves them all the power to decide what they want to do.
Yeah, of course. There's not even video of this.
There's not a video of a lot of stuff. Now, if
I
it was
know
live,
that.
we'd be
No,
able to see it.
I'd say there's way more video than not video, even on these things. But I guess no one was there.
Well, it was also at the very end of the day. That's probably why.
Let me get this clear. I am in favor of a strict code of conduct. That that is what I would ultimately want to be on the side of. They're trying to enforce this new thing. I don't think it's just like completely blowing past the line that will get violated. I think if you did what Sergio did this week, like if you did what Sergio did at the Masters, I think you might be getting a penalty too. And some would argue that's like way less of what Neiman did. Like
what did Sergio do? He just threw his club and broke it?
No, he smashed the tee box, the marker.
Yeah, that's just a part of the course. Rory's done that too. Remember when EVR did it?
This is new though. Yeah, guys have done that. They want that gone at the major championships. I think if someone did that after the Neiman thing, guaranteed that person would be getting the 2 strokes as well. So I'm just curious where the floor is.
If this penalty happens to Ben Griffin, you don't care.
No, Neiman was never winning. The only prop I had on him was top South American.
But just you like Neiman. You said he's like a kid, although the fact that he's 27 years old.
I like him. I'm a big fan.
That's what I'm saying. If it happens to someone you don't care about, you don't care about this.
See, these are 2 different things. I'm not disagreeing that Neiman deserved a penalty.
No,
I want to know.
I get that you're saying that. That's putting like he should get it.
I want to know what
to rant about this. But if it happens to someone innocuous, you don't care.
I want to know what the entry, that 14-year-old boy
you're not going
was
to get
innocuous.
I'm not going to tell you.
I'm just a fan. I love the rule. I love the minutia, so I care. I'm curious what the entry point might be. I get you make a great point. The vagueness of it just gives them more control. I'm also saying that I think if someone did what Sergio did this week, especially after the Neiman penalty, they are getting penalized. So I don't think the line, based on what I have heard from before the season, I don't think the line is as deep as you actually do. I don't. And I guess time will tell. And they made an example out of Yo, and it seemed like we didn't see much of anything from the rest. So guys have been put on notice. And if it's a 2-stroke penalty to Joakim Neiman that puts all these fucking fucks on notice, I think that in the end, great penalty. If it's going to curtail that, people can disagree. Guy hits a pop-up with the bases loaded, he screams fuck. What's the difference? To me, there's a difference. I'm a golf guy. Okay? Like I said, I don't even sometimes get into it. But
Keep going with that.
I told you. If it's up to me, I'd report the untucked shirts. Okay. That's just, I don't know. Code of conduct. Would I actually? No. But, yeah. Listen, maybe I struggle at golf because I'm too distracted standing on the 6th tee to see if that person on number 2 is raking that bunker.
I think yes.
Yeah.
The answer is yes to that question.
But when you see yourself as a future discipline committee member, those are the responsibilities. Those are my responsibilities.
I couldn't imagine. Like, I love to play golf. Love golfing. The only thing that I care about, there are 2 things that I care about on the course: how I'm playing and the general pace of play, because I don't want to be out there for 6 hours.
Yeah,
That's it.
I'm not I'm in
You
my,
would like to be on a committee that oversees like what the rules of the club are. Just
No,
get
no,
me in
well,
there.
hold
Get
on.
me out of
No.
this.
Not
I'm
the
not
rules.
spending any extra time
not
there.
the rules, just the enforcement of them. They can make them. Like, I believe I could get in too much trouble if I say too much, because like everything is confidential. Like when like emails go out with like discipline, like this person, this incident, it says like this is confidential, like among club members. So I'm not like going to get into per incidents, but like I strongly oppose at my club, like if someone gets suspended, they still remain anonymous. I unequivocally disagree with that. If you are going to do something that like loses, that the club has decided you can't be here for a period of time, you've lost all rights to anonymity. Like, so things like that. Now, when you're saying like golf rules, this wouldn't be, I'm not looking, this will make me sound more pathetic. I'm not looking to be on like the tournaments committee and like decide like infractions like in an event.
No, you want to be on the justice committee.
Yeah.
You want to be the hall monitor.
Well, listen, you go both ways. You could spend like one day in that and you see like all the innocuous things. You're like, there's people that care more than I do. And this is how I felt like I used to live in like this townhouse thing. Got dragged into one of those meetings by my wife. And it's like, how could you ever care? Like, even if you care a little, there are people that care so much more. And I've actually still found that with like, I think I care a lot. And then you try to engage in these sorts of things and you quickly realize, holy shit, there are people that care so much more. In the end, if and listen, like Neiman probably deserved a penalty, and the USGA was probably appalled at like the consortium of stories that they were getting from around the property on the day. And it does seem like we didn't see any of that. And not that we'd always see, but if a guy like threw a club or, started screaming expletives, I think we would have caught that. The most we saw was like this, Rom being golf sad. And like people, like there are crazy people that wanted, Rom was like doping his club on like the tee box, like a soccer ball, because he was annoyed. Like, no, that is not a penalty. That's not a minor infraction. That's not what I'm talking about. But I don't believe this is just a USGA thing. I believe, as it was said to us at the Masters, that all of the majors like got together and decided that we need to up code of conduct. And in some ways, like Wyndham almost taking the Marshal's head off might have been the origin for them finally saying, between Wyndham at the PGA and Wyndham at Oakmont, that was probably like the absolute push for them saying, no, enough's enough. Code of conduct time. I support it.
I've made one suggestion ever at my club, and they will never implement it. But they do have these trackers that they can give to everyone because they tested them out. And I think they forgot about them. Maybe they broke them. I don't know what happened. But I just feel like for a 3-week period, anyone who plays kart, walking, whatever it might be, you give them one of these timers. And then you have to clock in with the Marshal and clock out with the Marshal at the beginning and end of your round. And the 5 slowest people who've played over the past 3 weeks get their names posted in the clubhouse, big letters, and then it will speed up play.
Listen.
Shaming people needs to come back.
Yeah, I agree. I think like if you, don't get me wrong, you get like a minor infraction, I don't need to know your name. But like They need to send this thing out about, someone being suspended for like being rude to the staff. And like, no, I need to know who that is. I do.
See, I don't care. I just want my play to be faster.
Here's the problem, though. What you think is an acceptable pace of play is probably different from what the club has to consider an acceptable pace of play.
No, yes, but like, for example,
because they have to just be factoring every group into what the standard pace of play like has to be, right?
Yeah, well, they need to figure out what the standard pace of play is, so people aren't just waiting around. There's not 3 groups on one tee. Like, all of a sudden, then that means someone is not holding up their end of the bargain for pace of play if stuff like that is happening, because we don't have the 6-minute tee times. We have 12-minute tee times. Like, this should be fine.
So are marshals just not doing their job, or they're not?
They are, but like I ran into they actually have a new marshal, and he like came around like 3 or 4 times when I was out last, and eventually he was just like, this group just won't speed up. He's like, I told him to skip 2 holes.
So that is where like you want the names posted. That's where it goes to like the next level. Like if you are going to like ignore the marshal, then maybe like I don't think giving people timer, because you never know. Sometimes you're out there's no one in front, and you never, like, it's not all the same. Playing at 5 o'clock with no one on the course, you don't have the same expectation. Like I bring a guest first thing in the morning on a Friday, he's gonna know. Listen, I might have to tell you to pick up your ball, because
I will not lose the ball because they were playing too slowly. That's never happened.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm just saying it's all like different. Like it's always different. You want to get out there early on the weekend, you have to. It's like a societal norm. It's like Tim with the drive-through. You don't, when no one's behind you, you can yuck it up with the lady. Ask her what's new. You never been there. When people are behind you, there's the societal norm. Bing bong. Next way. So that's all that is all I'm saying. Like the timer at 8 in the morning isn't the timer at 4:30 in some respects.
I agree, but I've never played in the morning where anyone's ever been slow.
I agree, because there is like, especially if you're a member at a club, there is like a societal.
No, it's just the people who want to play at 7 a.m. on Wednesday morning are looking to be out of there by 10:30 and go to work.
I agree, but I'm sure once in a while you get someone who's normally like not, and they're like, I'm playing this morning, and they bring their rules with their guests to like the front of the grid, and it's a problem.
Yes, every now and then it happens, and it sucks. Although
that's
I started playing, because usually other Tim and I only play 9 in the morning. I'll play 18 if I have enough time, but he has to play 9, then go to work. But at our course, 2 and 7 are by each other, and we got stuck behind a slow group the other day in the morning. So we played 1, 2, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, like all the way through, and played it in like 1 hour and 50 minutes.
Most people I find in my club are pretty, like, only the bit, like, get like a husband and a wife, like they'll just like they'll like almost tell you to play through. A lot of people will. Some people are so naive, they're so stupid, they don't realize they've lost the group in front of them by a hole and a half, and they're the worst. But credit to Yako. I think this was a nice thing for him in the end. Much like Wyndham, I think Yako made a couple new fans this week with how the whole week went, with how he handled it. He took accountability. By the end of the week, he made jokes about it. Right? Said, like, imagine that one hole. It's like, well, if my aunt had balls or something, or my aunt was my uncle, whatever. What a lovely chap. Big things are coming. And for me, the record can be the record, but that's a T5. You could even knock that as a T3. So there we go. Good job, Yako. Well done, buddy.
See, I disagree. I think if he doesn't take the penalty, he doesn't play as well afterwards.
Oh, of course. This is undisputed, but I'll spin this how I want. Without a doubt. Whatever. But credit to him for like how he played on Friday.
Oh, for sure. Listen, no one's taking anything away. And the way that he handled the situation, had Wyndham Clark had just done that to begin with, no one would have booed him yesterday.
Oh my God. All of it. Like Yak 101, no Morikawa, that whole thing. Like there's just such an easy way for it to end and be like a 25-minute story. Maybe you'll take your final lumps, but it ends. Like there's a way to end these things that some guys don't realize. And listen, we've all you're more mature than I, but I'm sure we've all been in things where like there was an exit ramp, 45 tweets ago, Fienberg. There was an exit ramp, idiot. So yeah, who am I? But overall, like 4 guys finish under par, Yakko asterisks. Just what a lovely course, lovely event. I guess you want to just talk about like the crowds in totality, like away from just like the Sunday Wyndham stuff, why that felt so weird.
It felt better on Sunday, but there was no one there on Saturday.
So the craziest thing about it, Pat, was people who were there on Tuesday and Wednesday said it was packed. Like this is as like for a practice round, and maybe it just felt packed because they were still in so much traffic. But I don't know. Like, do you give any credence to like the Knicks? I give the Knicks way more than the World Cup because I don't know that there's a crossover. Although maybe you were spending money to go see Brazil. Like maybe I didn't think there was an American game in New York. So I just think the Knicks literally took so much energy out of people that they were like spent. And then by the time the traffic, I bet you there's plenty of people with money to burn who had tickets. They heard the anecdotal travel stories. They thought they were going to go. And then at some point, they're just like, you know what? I'm going to swallow it. I'm not going. I'm not going.
I'd be curious to know from people who did go in or around that region, because I mean, I wouldn't have went. It was going to take me like 3 hours to get there and 2.5 hours back. I'm like, yeah, I'll watch it on TV. It's
Oh
fine.
yeah. Even if you had like full access, I know you'd have done it once. I'm never coming back. I know you well enough to know. I don't care what sort of free lunch is there for me. I'm not going. Yeah, and
like,
sure.
Did they have a ferry service working in and out, like getting you onto like so you could cut off the traffic that way? Like there. One of the reasons, like I remember Moose used to tell me this, like why Hazeltine ended up getting like a Ryder Cup and a PGA Championship. It's not that, I mean, it is a great course, but they have the infrastructure to make it work. You can put in grandstands. It's a big field, but they also have ample parking. That the bottlenecks getting in or out. Well, yeah, there's going to be traffic around the course, obviously. That's going to happen, but it's not going to be you're sitting there for 5 hours with nowhere to go. Like you don't get on the media shuttle and it takes you an hour and a half to go 2.1 miles. Like that's not happening. That, well, you do get access to these great courses. And obviously this is an amazing course that at some point for the fan experience, do you need to find other ways to get people in and out of there?
The unfortunate thing for the USGA is they would tell you they going into the week felt like they went above and beyond for making it a better fan experience. They sold like way less tickets because they knew this was going to be a problem. Like coming here, they claim they are leaving like 10 million plus on the table when they choose to come here because there's less activation, there's less grandstand, there's less corporate hospitality. That was apparently the word.
Sure. But do you think that's also because maybe they couldn't sell it?
Maybe.
I mean, there's always a good spin that you can put on things like, oh yeah, we're so benevolent. We didn't try to take the money grab of activation tents or this or that, or maybe we didn't think we could sell the tickets or it would cost too much.
Yeah,
people didn't go.
I'm not totally sure. I guess that there is just some level of humor in the juxtaposition. No. Juxtaposition?
Hey, there you go.
I don't know what I said the first time.
And you're like taking a justice of position.
Yes. Those pillars of justice. In Bethpage and this. In both like the all out cash hoarding of it versus like I don't know whether it was a reaction to Bethpage. I think the tickets go on sale like well before that. That infrastructure happens well before that. But yeah, it was like two entirely different crowds. And I think we'd agree like a Ryder Cup is a different experience. But like beyond that, and like I'm not talking about the vulgarity. It just was like two entirely different logistical situations. I mean, like on property. And Bethpage is just a monster, and there's other courses there, so they can use those other courses to situate a lot of the activations and stuff on just pastures like that.
Travelers Championship 2026. You ready for it?
Yeah.
The ad's been playing in the show for the past month, so people should be aware that it's happening at this point.
I noticed
this week, Cromwell, Connecticut. Remember, Cust was all very, very happy. They kept showing the length from Shinnecock to TPC River Highlands. That if you took a helicopter, it'd be like 20 minutes or something.
Yeah, sure. I guess one more thing. Let's open this actually.
What's your one more thing?
Well, it's not even about the US Open, but it's this week. And it is apparently there's a big vote on the schedule.
Yeah, I mean, I'm only concerned about that after it happens.
I agree, but there's one thing that I feel like is worth discussing. I don't care that Rory's not here. I actually love this current iteration of Rory. Like, I love it. It is like you thought he stopped giving Fs a couple years ago. We are like there's still little Fs he gives. Like, I cannot wait for us to get to like the 0 Fs given Rory era. Rory, take care, Rory. Do whatever you want. I believe he's still as good of an ambassador as there's almost ever been in the last handful of years for the PGA Tour. So he's got, people think I'm too easy on him. He's got like a satchel of free passes from this guy. But you could tell that he is still a little pissed about the past, and you can tell him and Rollap are not the best of pals, I think, at the moment. And that's fascinating. I'm so interested by it.
Sure. Well, we'll see what the schedule vote goes. It feels like Rory's comments pre-US Open were more to whip votes in his favor. And it seems like Rory's on the side of, weirdly enough, the little man tournament.
Yeah, he's in. Yeah, I mean, right. He used the glorified Corn Ferry, which I thought was a little strong because I feel like they'd be a little different. But that, I don't know, that sent a chill down my spine.
Call the Puerto Rico Open?
Yeah, so that sucks. You're right. So if it's
and
like
now you paste the Puerto Rico Open onto the Canadian Open and bring it down to that level, or hell, what's another one that like Valspar? It could happen to Valspar. I love Valspar. I don't want to see it be a glorified Corn Ferry event, and that's exactly what it would be.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. So I'm on the side of Rory. I'm happy he's whipping votes. Maybe he's working the phones. It'd actually be so funny if he was there but not playing. Like if he was just working the grounds today, but not playing. And like you said on the Cut Sweat show, even though like his defense of the Canadian Open, I thought was wonderful. And then you see what happens this week. Look who's won two guys who had strong Canadian Opens, and the importance for some players and who want to play the weeks before. And the obvious, there's a lot of guys that absolutely don't want to play the week before. So, yeah, I mean, I say fan, like I'm so curious. I'll give Roll-Up a lot of grace to maybe make some changes, but I'll admit that I'm pretty concerned. I don't like everything I've been hearing, and I appreciated Rory a lot last week.
All right, well, let's move to the Travelers Championship. As you mentioned, there is no Rory in the field. Everyone else appears to be playing. All the odds that we're using today are powered by coolbet.com. If you're in Canada, outside of Ontario, hit the description, get your bonus, fastest payouts in the biz at coolbet.com. All of my PME boost up there later on this week as well. Scotty is 4-1. Xander, 14. Fleetwood, who gagged this away last year, is 18-1. Then you have Cam Young, 18. Ludwig, 20. Burns, 20. Matt Fitzpatrick, 20. Your U.S. Open champion, Wyndham Clark at 22. Then there's a drop into Morikawa and Cantlay and Justin Thomas and that tier of guy. Where do you want to start?
I want to start by saying, to me, Wyndham is the only possible WD. Some people think Burns. I would be like literally floored if Burns WD'd.
Yeah, Burns got to keep pressing until he wins.
God, this is a guy he hasn't won in years. And we used to call like this guy, he's a killer. So I can't he's been so close. And a guy I like to think is a killer and wants to take other people's lunch money. There've been some tough moments in the last few years, but I don't see him stopping. It's a free payday. You get why Wyndham's gonna bail, but and maybe he won't. Maybe he won't. He's been playing so well. Just keep going. But one more thing on Wyndham. Sorry, because I think it's fair to the whole conversation. The thing I hated the most, Pat, and like Tarico did it, was people, and I get like for the casuals, that's how you got to do it. But like when trying to explain, like, or to help like people who don't know what's going on, like understand the dislike, it seems like you're witnessing for Wyndham Clark, to frame it as like just singularly the Oakmont thing, I think is totally disingenuous.
Yeah,
I
but
think
you
people
only
hated
have
him
so much
before
time
Oakmont, and that thing.
Now, hold on. If you tune in as a broadcaster and you're my dad who doesn't follow any of this, he tunes into the US Open, everyone is booing one player. You have about 5 seconds to explain that.
Yes and no. Not when it's the player who's going to be on TV the most as anyone. There was like a long road before that incident. That incident gave the haters like that was like torching lighter fluid on the gasoline on the Wyndham hate. But yeah, I mean that stuff from the PGA, like there was a long line, doing, I'm, stomping grass. I mean, I do that. I do that. Yeah, I get a putt against the fringe. I mean, we're not actually playing for money. If we are playing for money, you come take a look, because I'll be putting my fucking fat 11 in a Hafers. Try to get that putter head on the ball. I don't play for money ever, so no one cares. And I'm not bragging about a score either, because they still suck. But yeah, so there's that. This was, Pat, maybe tell me if there's something different. There were other like close calls. This was as painful got as like the Tommy Hardo. I mean, there's a
it was
big
either
moment.
this or the Canadian Open at your course were the two tournaments. This is the one where he had the putt to win, and it looked like it hit a pebble and just went right and missed the hole. And that was it. Keegan won.
Yeah, I mean, that's an easy par 5 at Oakdale. He didn't even get in the playoff here, though. This was so fucking. This was like it was so hard to not be happy for Keegan, the USA chance. Me, I'm like a Ryder Cup obsessed, so there was so much going on with that bubble. I ate it all up, but that was so painful. That was so painful. And yesterday felt like Tommy could, early, and then missed like a 2.5 footer on 6. Fucking guy. I might like him this week, but I don't like much. I don't know. I am just taking a bath. I'm not seeing it clearly. I don't know. I don't know. So it seems like a lot of guys who don't win golf tournaments at the moment at the top, other than the two guys who have been good this year.
Alex Fitzpatrick is 60-1.
You know what? I don't know that I'd bet it, but I'm sure there did Fitzpatrick like derivatives probably catch cash last week.
No, he had a terrible weekend. No, like not so terrible that
Alex though. No.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about Alex.
Oh, thought he was. What did he finish?
22nd, I think.
Oh, yeah, that sucked.
Yeah, he and Matt couldn't make a 3-foot putt over the weekend.
Oh. Matt on Saturday, man, like from the first shot, he just I don't know, tough.
But then, the worst part is then he got it back together, and then just couldn't sustain it. He just couldn't make any birdies from that point. But I think he was 4 over through 5, and then I think he was even par the rest of the round.
Yeah, tough.
So let's see here. Yeah, if I sort by strokes gained, let's see, tee to green from last week. Theegala is actually number 1 tee to green. He was the only guy basically inside the top 10 who lost, and he lost a ton of strokes putting. So Theegala, Kitayama were 1 and 2 in terms of strokes gained tee to green. Kitayama lost almost 8 strokes putting at Shinnecock Hills. So we can maybe take a look back at him, because that is, even for him, is truly bad. Then you got Burns, Scotty Clark, Corey Connors, Ben Griffin, Tom Kim, who's not playing, Keegan, who's won this tournament 2 of the past 3 years, Stevens Rose, Alex Fitzpatrick. Alex Fitzpatrick just happened to lose strokes chipping and putting. That's great. Good for him.
What number did you have on Connors? I don't even see him.
I don't even know if he's in the field. Is he in the
Oh,
field?
sorry, you're doing the stroke skating. Yeah, he's not.
Yeah, Corey Connors. No, he's 110 to 1 this week.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
100 to 1 for I mean, there is. So I guess, like, would you take a Corey Connors, or would you go to someone like Ryan Gerard, who's actually finally starting to putt?
I mean, either of them I'd be taking with placings, and I never do placings. The thing about this one, though, Pat, like, other than Burns, I don't give anyone even like the minor in psychology thought of, oh, he must be so exhausted from his week. Like, maybe Scotty, he's so good, and Scotty's like just about to pop anyway. But there's just, for it being kind of crowded, like, Burns is the only guy who was in the thick of it. And I'm not saying I'm looking to fade Burns. I think I had a Henley over Burns matchup last week. That didn't go well.
Okay, what happened to Russell Henley this week?
I'll be honest. Sometimes when things like that happened, I don't even want to look into it. I just acknowledge, like, this course will get you, and you lose your head for a little, like concentration, and it's huge numbers, and it's over.
He was kind of in the mix until
He was even par during the cut sweat, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. But then I think he went bogey double to end his round, and he got into the cut at 3 over. Like, he was never in danger of missing the cut. Then I wake up on Saturday morning. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I take a look at the scores. Like, where the hell did Russell have? Because I had him start because I bet him to win too, like a loser. And he was like 10 over par or something. I was like, good Lord, what happened here? So yeah, on Saturday, he lost a stroke and a half off the tee, 3.5 on approach, 1 around the green, and 0.45 on the greens. Here's something interesting, though. In round 4, he gained 3.5 strokes on approach.
What do you think his odds were here last year? Because I saw that Golf Tips checker just reposted his like last year's Cromwell chart, and he was like huge most tipped guy here.
I don't know, but I'm seeing him at 33 to 1 on Cool Bet right now to win this tournament. And that's base. I mean, I bet him at 45 last week. I think he went off at 35 for the US Open. This is a way better course for him. Do we just bet Russell Henley, roll it back? I think people have been doing it because he opened at 40 and now he's down to 33 in real time.
I could be tempted with Russ.
Wait,
I've been betting Russ so much this year. I never bet him.
What about Ben Griffin?
He's another guy. That is the sort of profile. I want to say, in this like sick world of losing bets and finding a way to like pat myself on the back. I was happy I didn't like bet any of the good players last week. Like, the shortest bet I had, I mean, I did have a Cam Young future, but like the shortest bet I walked into last week, I think was like Russ at 40 or 45 to 1.
Yeah, I jumped on Fitzpatrick and he was there until he wasn't.
Honestly, on Friday night, if I do like someone said who's gonna win, I would have picked Matthew Fitzpatrick.
It's the first time in like, so I went back to look, like, because they took him off of TV so quickly on Saturday. I didn't know what the hell was going on with him. I thought he was like dead or quick call for something like that. But like, his name was still on the leaderboard. He was in like 5th place or something. And they just would not show him despite playing with Wyndham Clark. And after the 6th hole, he actually started playing fine. So you could show his shots again. And then they were forced to show him by the end of coverage. But it was his driving. It's really weird. Like, you don't normally see him just be so terrible. He lost almost 4 strokes off the tee this week. Like, honestly, going back to him this week, of the top end guys, he gained 5 strokes on approach. He gained 5 around the greens, gained putting, just couldn't drive, which you don't normally see that from him. Like, he's usually awesome off the tee, especially accuracy wise.
Yeah, it was really strange. He couldn't find it. He was fighting it so hard to start Saturday's round. So hard. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
It's going to end up being a lazy week. Do you remember? Can you name? Well, I'll put you on the spot like your Cust here. The past winners of this event.
Keegan
last year, minus 15.
Xander's won this?
He has. That was in 2022. He won at minus 19. Then he won the Scottish Open the next week.
I remember you had a great Bubba ticket that I tailed here once.
Yeah, that was a while ago. That was 2018.
I feel like Scotty's won here.
Scotty won here 2 years ago. He beat Tom Kim in that playoff when the protesters hit.
Oh, yes. Cantlay?
No, Keegan won so it went Keegan, Scotty, Keegan, Xander, and then Harris English beat Kramer Hickok in that like 14-hole playoff.
Yeah.
And DJ won in the COVID year when he beat Brendan Todd.
Sick. Yeah, I hit that. That was like a
that was a good one to
DJ.
hit.
That was an awesome one.
And then the before the Bubba one, Shez Reavie won the week after the Pebble U.S. Open when he was in he was awesome at that U.S. Open. He was like 4th place or something like that behind Woodland, Brooks, and Rose. And then he just everyone looked at him that week and were like, well, there's no way he's going to do it 2 weeks in a row. And they just stormed everyone. But that was before it was an elevated event. Since it's become the elevated event, Keegan, Scotty, Keegan, like Tom Kim was pretty close to winning that year that Scotty won. That maybe this is up for grabs a little bit, like all of the signature events feel like they've been this year.
Who else was in it last year? Like obviously Keegan, Tommy. Who else?
And Henley. Those were the 3. And then after that, it was Day, English, Rory, Scotty, Harmon. Harmon always plays this event well. Lucas Glover, Harry Hall, then Denny, Ben Griffin, Cantlay, and Justin Thomas.
I don't think you're on the wrong track to maybe be like identifying the like Henley, Ben Griffin, Kitayama player.
Spieth? What's the most iconic Spieth moment to you? Good moment.
Honestly, it's like a horrible moment, but it was good. Like how the par save or the bogey save on the disaster hole versus Kuchar, and then I think sticking the next shot. I think the next one was a par 3, and he like stuck it. So I know it's like everyone's got their own moments of the bunker toss and everything comes right to mind. But yeah, and then being the beneficiary of Chambers Bay and not getting a full Monday DJ. We've been close to playoffs in the U.S. Open again this year. We just can't get them. I want them.
Well, and they don't even play the 18 holes anymore.
Excuse me. What is it now? What 3 holes or just one Sunday?
2 holes. 2-hole playoff. But no, this is still like it's not the iconic Spieth moment, but it is the one that I remember the most. It is the bunker toss at this course. Beating Berger in the playoff.
Yep. I don't know. He's a guy I'm rooting for him these days. I'm not betting him. I got my own guys who don't contend or win these days to bet, but I'm very much pro this Jordan arc at the moment.
Well, let's make some quick picks. I have no official bets in as of yet. I've been sick. I mean, I'm still sick right now. So I didn't do the research show. I didn't put out the column. I've been in bed. So, maybe I'll get all of that out and I'll have all the final bets with Keith on Wednesday or Tuesday evening, whenever that show comes out. But I think that after talking it through with you, I like this Ben Griffin, Russell Henley, Harmon, even Akshay is a look that I would give after a pretty good week. Alex Fitzpatrick, Kitayama, like that range of guys, narrow it down to 4 and kind of be on my way. Ryan Gerard a little bit later on, I think could work too.
Yeah, I mean, that's where my first bet's going to be. And I guess for quick picks, although one more thing before quick picks, I really didn't pay any attention.
We're already into quick picks. I just gave quick picks.
I know. I want to ask about a player we didn't talk about though, because he was so good with the approach in Canada, and then the U.S. Open. Shinnecock can should I not be looking at Victor?
I mean, don't you say that every week?
Not really. I mean that. Like we've kind of gone. There was a while where we kind of
take a look at Victor.
Yeah, I am going to be looking at Victor. But Henley and Connors. I haven't bet Connors yet. Henley's going in right now. Connors, I got to look. I want to wait for placings. I'm not betting Corey Connors to win. I can't remember the last placings bet I've made. But this week, Corey Connors placing bet for me.
For one and done, the guy that updates the sheet hasn't updated the sheet in 1, 2, 3, 4 tournaments. So it's been a month. So if someone would like to send me an updated version of the one and done and who we've picked, that would be very helpful because I have no idea anymore.
Well, Tim said he's taking Cam Young.
Yeah, Tim said he's taking Cam Young. I do not believe that he has used Cam Young as of yet. Who are you going to take? I can tell you who you've taken up to Byron Nelson.
JT.
Sure. Justin Thomas for you.
I know I haven't used him in the last month, and if he's haven't been picked before, then I got him. So
Who can I use here?
who's also been who feels like a guy who's ready to win again too, by the way.
Lurking around. Sure. 24-1. You like that number?
I'm seeing a 33. I'd like a lot more, but no, I don't know that I'm going to actually bet him to win, unless because there's so few guys I actually like this week that I actually want to bet on. Maybe I do get there.
Do you think he's a better play than Morikawa right now?
No. I'm
Yeah.
really Morikawa when he plays. He seems to play pretty well. Gotta tell you. Gotta say.
Now, I'll just take Alex Fitzpatrick because I don't know who I have left and who I don't have left. And there we go.
And before we leave, can you sorry, because I could use Google or something. How many until the Scottish?
Oh boy. Travelers this week, JDC, and then Scottish?
Okay, good. I'm looking forward to next week.
When is Detroit and 3M? That's after the Open, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right before. Yeah, that's after.
Let's see. Travelers, John Deere, Scottish, Open Championship. Yeah. You pumped to watch the Corrales Punta Cana Championship during the same week as the Open Championship?
The different hours they'll get if I got a Nielsen box, they'd be getting a click from me because it'll be at the other end of the day. So
see that's one thing though, is that I don't mind these alternate tournaments. I tune into them the weeks that it's just two things to bet on for me. And I do like seeing these guys. We got to watch Ricky Castillo end up winning earlier this year. Had a good Chandler Blanchet type run. Like, they're fun events to bet. But if they were just standalone, they would be a lot less fun.
I should know this. Was Snedeker Hubbard, was that standalone?
No.
Myrtle Beach? Yeah.
No,
I enjoyed that.
Opposite. Like, we're going to be ISCO here soon as well.
But right, wasn't that fun to watch as an opposite? Like, yeah. I was thoroughly into that. You probably want to run, but you have any interest in doing the USA President's Cup team
right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I mean, you're the one who keeps bringing up that you don't care about the President's Cup. I'm on board with you that I don't care.
I don't care about for Tim telling us Team International is going to win. And I will tell people that, like, I'm seeing minus 350s. That could be worth them sitting on your money for 2.5 months for like a free washing machine. It's up to you though.
Let's see. President's Cup right now, minus 400 is what I'm seeing.
Yeah, I'm sure if you shopped it, I can't find it though. Whatever. You want to do I don't care to do the international roster. Like,
well, the international roster is actually fun to do. I feel like we know who's going to be on, unless they really go sideways and use this as a buildup for the Ryder Cup. But the guys that are probably just going to be on the team: Scotty, Cam Young, Henley, Griffin, Burns, and JJ Spawn, and Wyndham Clark.
Okay, you don't have Morikawa, like, barring no surgery or something?
I'm just looking at it. Like, I'm just looking at the standing. So Morikawa and Xander and Goddard are probably also on the team. And then you have Justin Thomas, Bridgman, Harris English, Mav, Akshay, Spieth, those type of guys. It feels like there's 2 spots up for grabs.
I'm not doing this again because I did it at the Ryder Cup, and I'm not as invested at the moment. And where is Cantley in the standings?
He's not on the standings.
Oh, no, Patrick. No. Don't do it. Don't make them make the choice. Okay.
Yeah, he's not inside the top 15.
Oi. Gonna make it hard on people, Patty.
It's crazy that Wyndham Clark isn't even inside the top 6.
I could see maybe. Yeah, that's weird. Because it's not like a lot of these guys are playing great.
No, but I think the President's Cup accumulates 2 years because JJ Spawn is still ahead of Wyndham Clark.
Okay. So is there room for Koiven? Maybe not, eh?
No, Koiven, Miles Russell, put an amateur on the team. Ben James. Ben James is in the field this week at Travelers. Guy's shown up 2 events in a row.
You want to just, we'll end with, you'll do it on your research show again. But maybe
Ben James is not in the field.
What are you projecting for the Koiven odds next week?
Is he playing next week?
I thought, didn't he?
I don't know what he said and what he didn't say. Like I said, I've been sick. I didn't see it.
If
he does play, then he's back to what I bet him at Napa earlier this year, like 16-1.
Yeah. So pro college star Jackson Coiven turning pro, making debut John Deere.
Yeah, 22-1, I'll say.
And who might be the favorite?
I don't know who's in the field, Jeff. Who's in the field? You tell me.
I don't have a clue. It's hard to tell. Like, who's he going to be up against? Davis Thompson? Like,
yeah, Seb Straka, maybe.
I'm trying to think who the other guys might be. Like, I don't think any of the good guys are going before Scotland, obviously. That's not
Ricky's going, I think.
That'll be so awesome, though. Like, the Deer's going to be awesome. All the young kids are just going, though.
See, field list right now for the John Deere Classic.
Or Bjornsson and shit, right?
What's that, sorry?
Or Bjornsson will be, like, there, too.
Yeah, well, he has to play because he has no status. He's not good.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to think, like, guys who might be under 30-1.
Svensson. No, sorry, that's Adam Svensson. Jackson Suber's going to probably be there at this point. Michael Kim, former winner. Michael Brennan. Thor Bjornsson. Yella Miraju. Keith Mitchell is committed to the field at this moment. It was Denny.
And I would guarantee
Hao Tong.
Michael Kim in, like, Saturday 2-balls is probably got an incredible record this year.
Yeah, his Saturday scoring is off the charts good.
Like, yeah. Moving day into some great money.
Goddard is playing the John Deere.
That's awkward. Or not awkward.
Ricky.
That's awesome. That's just surprising to hear. So yeah, he's the favorite.
Ricky will be up there. Mason Howell is also playing in that event. Preston Stout, who I believe made the cut. Sung Jae is playing.
Okay. Well, I don't know. You can go now. I guess I've just kept you here. I like talking to you. That's all.
I like talking to you too. We do it every Monday, and we're going to start doing it a bit more as well because football is approaching. I usually have a bit more energy. I usually do this, have to go into the studio, but I got too tired and had to get extra sleep, and I'm going back to sleep afterwards.
Enjoy it.
I just need to rest up. I need to get my energy back.
Let's go.
All right. So maybe I don't know if I'm going to be able to put out the column or not this week. I'll have the cheat sheet for sure because I assume I'm going to be better for tomorrow when I record with Blickle and with Keith and then have the cheat sheet on Wednesday. So we'll throw that all out. Jeff, thanks for being on.
Thank you. I also think I'm going to bet Morikawa now that we've talked about it briefly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ben Griffin playing in the John Deere Classic too.
Oh, wow.
Looking at it. Pretty good field. Maybe it might be the last ever John Deere Classic. Guys are getting out there.
Right. Or I don't know. The rumors they want to move it to Chicago if it's going to exist, right?
I think they just might take it off the schedule.
I guess. I mean, yeah, maybe the PGA Tour is in such a good place where like someone like John Deere, a company like that, they can be like, you know what? Thanks. No thanks. So yeah, good for them.
We'll see. All right. I'm Pat Mayo. You can follow me at the PME. Sub to the newsletter. That's free. That's down in the description. Code Mayo at Underdog. And if you're in Canada, outside of Ontario, coolbet.com. You find that link down in the description as well. Fastest payouts, PME boost, and a nice bonus if you click down there as well. All right. I'm Pat Mayo. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.
Mayo Experience! Experience!